Hey Levi, thanks for joining me today, man.
Oh, anytime.
So I wanted to not only touch on the new record Shadows Inside, which is out next month, I also wanted to touch on just the general discography Miss May I has created over the past 8 or so years. You guys already have 6 records, well, what will soon be 6 records. That's a lot. A lot of bands that are in your age group, they don't have nearly as much material yet. So has there been a challenge in keeping your sound fresh with each record?
Yeah, our big thing for all the content and just music is we really just know how fast things happen and how fast times change, and especially now how the internet is. We know that if you're not releasing content, then people are sort of gonna forget about you and sort of not get so attached. So we've always we always write. So for us, it's really easy because we're always writing. We already have songs for our next record. So so that's the biggest thing. Is we just always want to give content to our fans and be in their face and let them know that we're working as hard as they're working for being our fans, and we don't want to just sit on a record. And I know it is crazy now thinking about it. To us, though, it's so natural because this record's not even out yet, and we already have 5 songs for the next one. So I think we're just workaholics.
That's a great TV show.
Yeah.
That's so cool, though. You guys are always giving back to your fans. It's so respectable, especially to be a metal band and do that whenever the stereotype is, oh, metal bands are so shitty to their fans, they're such shitty people.
Oh yeah, I know. That's we're here to help out.
That's awesome, man. Well, let me ask you, what did you do differently on Shadows Inside to mix up your sound?
This summer the biggest key to this one is that we spent more time having a new label and new management. We just went out of our way to really step it up. Like we know that it was such a good time or not only was it a good time, it was just such a good feeling, and we felt it was such a big opportunity that things were different and better, and we're like, we should really not just go into the studio like we usually do. We should really go in the studio. Every record we've spent a couple months in there and go right on tour or take a break while we're in the studio to go play shows and then come back. And we're always just so busy. We're like, this time let's take as much time. We actually took 9 months. So it took us 9 months to do this, and I think it really was big and different. So I think that's why this record came out so great, was just time. That was the key. And we also added 2 producers this time around, which is really big. We had a vocal producer, which really made a huge difference.
Drew Folk, right?
I got to just work with. His name was Drew Folk or Wizard Blood. He goes by both. And that was really great. And the guys got to work with an instrumental producer in Michigan, and he engineered our last record, so the bond was already there, and he's sort of like a guitar guru, and it was great. The only weird thing about this whole record was it was all satellite, so I never got to see the guys in Michigan. They never got to see me in LA. It just sort of was just write, and send emails back and forth to do edits, and then that's how the record got created. But I think it was worth the wait.
Now, did that feel a little bit different in terms of the creative capacity you guys have had in the past?
Oh yeah, for sure. It was so weird. It was because I had to be on the phone and be like, oh, what do you mean? What this part, or what do you mean this part? And we had to sort of just talk it over and Skype it, and
like we are right now.
It was super weird, but I think it gave everyone a lot of space, which was good, and a lot of creativity came out as well, because like I said, there's so much time and space, and then trial and error, and having 2 producers' ears on the record that both had the same goal of just writing a great metal record was good all around.
Yeah, I noticed you've started putting out some documentary flicks for it, and I kind of laughed to myself. That's how you know this record's going to be good. They actually went forth to make a movie about it.
I know, when the label sends out a video crew to do a documentary, you're like, oh man, this songs might be pretty good.
So, to take it back to the Deathless record and to link it to this one, those are two very dark records. I feel like Miss May I has gotten darker, a shade of black, with this new sound. Now, you said that the Deathless record cycle was possibly the lowest point of your life. Was that something that was still around on Shadows Inside? Is that something that inspired it?
I think it was at the tail end of it. It was we were just working out things, and it's really cool because during this record we were getting rid of all the darkness that was sort of surrounding us from Deathless, and that entails of getting a whole new team like we did. So some of the record is us like being just pissed off and writing, but then the other half of the record's like, yes, we're away from all this bullcrap that's sort of bringing us down. So it's pretty cool, and that's what the whole record is. It's not all negative. There's positives and negatives, and the whole record's about change, and that was a huge change for us as a band, was that we got to get out of that funk and out of that darkness and surrounding of people just taking advantage of us.
Yeah, it's a cathartic record, and that's something that I've always been into with metalcore. You go back to bands like As I Lay Dying, Killswitch Engage, and Shadows Fall, and they were all such cathartic records that they released. They always were so self-introspective, you know?
Yeah, and that's what I wanted to get across, and I think this record like summarizes that dark period we were in, and it gets me really excited for what's next.
Oh yeah, me too. I've been a fan of the band for quite a while, so to hear this record was an honor. Thank you. Now I wanted to talk about the Rise of the Lion album cycle, because you said Miss May I wanted to become more of a metal band rather than just strictly metalcore. Do you feel like on Deathless and Shadows Inside you're still pushing that direction and that ideal?
Oh yeah. I think we're, and I think Shadows Inside more so because we just really, there's so many over the top moments on this record that we wanted to be there. We wanted this record to take us from not just an everyday metal band on a playlist or like something that just happens. We want people to hear every one of these songs and be like, who was that? Or we should go back. Like, and with that in mind, we really had to go over the top and do things that would turn people's heads. So I think this record, more than anything, is the most ambitious record we've done.
Absolutely. There's some like post-rock songs on there, and then you've got a song like Swallow Your Teeth.
Yeah, we got some weird ones.
Yeah, I like it though. You got to challenge your fan base a little bit. All That Remains just did that with their new album, and I like the metal bands are trying to do that.
Yeah, and it comes sort of naturally. We just had so much time in the studio. It's like, okay, we wrote these songs, like, what can we do different? And then someone just starts noodling around, or someone starts singing something, you're like, okay, like, that's cool. Let's just run with that idea. And you just get weirder and weirder.
Yeah, once you've been around for so long, you kind of have every right to start experimenting a little bit.
Exactly, yeah.
And in the Spotify culture, you know, you got to stand out. You got to have a sound that is yours. You know what I mean?
Oh, yeah. So that's what I'm saying. You get lost on a playlist, and someone... You're just there for 3 minutes and then you're gone.
But you realize that whenever you have fans that hear you through Spotify or even just hear a song on like a mix CD, if people even listen to those anymore,
yeah,
you realize that they can still come out to your show and just know that one song, and they can become a huge fan of everything else just because they heard that one song.
Yeah, exactly.
I noticed on Deathless, You sang a line or two, and in Swallow Your Teeth, as well as Lost in the Gray, you sang a couple more lines. On Rise of the Lion, you did an interview, and you said, I would like to start singing more on the next couple of records. Is that something you're still pushing for?
Yeah, my mindset on that is just whatever happens. I'm not really going out of my way to change anything. Like, we've done songs and records in the past for people, and because people told us to do some things and that we wanted to do one thing, but our whole thing now is we just want to, we just want it to naturally feel like true and feel honest. And I think if that comes, then it comes, and if it doesn't, then it doesn't. So there's nothing that we're trying to do. It's just, if there's a part or there's a thing that I'm feeling that needs to be in there and it's a singing part, then it's going to happen. And if not, then it's just gonna be what it is. And I think this is the most honest record we've had, because it's really us just doing, like, just pouring our hearts out in this one.
Yeah, absolutely. Like I said, it's cathartic, and you can definitely hear the emotion in it, and that's great, man. So,
Thanks, man.
It's awesome. What current metal bands, if any, does Miss May I look up to in terms of that career progression of doing different things and still keeping their own sound, and of course the success in having their own sound?
I think the biggest one would be In Flames. In Flames was, we love how and then look at a band like that. They have 12 records and they're still just, it's just amazing. They always, every time we hear a new record from them, you're like, man, these guys are always innovative and just taking metal to the next level. And I think that's probably the biggest band that we're inspired by.
They're really underrated, man. I just picked up Reroute to Remain a couple days ago, and I was like, wow, this sounds absolutely nothing like the Jester Race.
Oh, I know. It's awesome, and they're always getting better and changing, and yeah, they're amazing.
Yeah, they are. I heard My Destruction and that acoustic intro, and I was like, oh, yeah. Here we are. In Flames.
It's so funny when we were writing that. Yeah, dude, that's exactly what we had in mind in the studio. We wrote the lead, and we're like, wait a second. We're like, we didn't have an acoustic guitar. We had to go get one. When we brought it in the studio, we're like, hey, can we play it on acoustic? And we played it, and we're like, this is exactly what In Flames would do. This is what we need to do. Like, this is awesome.
Oh, hell yeah, man. You guys killed it with that.
Thank you.
So, one thing I wanted to touch on as well with Rise of the Lion, going back to that record, was that you wrote from the fan perspective on that record for each song, and I thought that was so cool. Other bands have adapted that now that you guys have done it, and it's cool to see that you were the first kind of band in the scene to do that. Now, writing from the fan perspective, how has that affected how you write lyrics now? You bared their burden. Now, how did that affect you?
I think it makes me take the songs to sort of a selfless point. I don't want them. I don't think. Sometimes I get into this mindset, and it's like sort of conceited to get something off my chest that's so I guess unique that no one will really understand. And like, yeah, it is nice for me to get off my chest and put it out there, but there's also ways I can put it out there and write it to where someone else can be on the journey with me. And I think that's the biggest thing I learned from that, is not to just write for myself, but write to where someone else can take it and come along with the ride. Yeah,
definitely. Still relatable lyrics, by the way. You're a great lyricist for that reason.
Thanks, man.
So you worked with Machine on the At Heart record. That was a personal favorite moment of mine, because Machine's known for really pushing Randy Blythe on the Sacrament record from Lamb of God. How did Machine work with you in that way, with your vocal abilities, to push yourself?
The big thing Machine did was he wanted me to, I guess his thing was me believe in myself. And I mean, that was the biggest thing I learned doing that record, that there was really big parts and really hard parts I didn't know if I could do, and he would just lock me in a room sort of and make me do that. And I think that's the coolest thing I learned from him, is to just really believe in myself. And if I'm going to front a band, I shouldn't be shy. I should take it and own it, and know that all these guys are relying on me.
Yeah, it's like a Dr. Jekyll, Mr. Hyde kind of thing. Whenever you step on the stage, you're a totally different, energetic guy.
Yeah, it's very heavy weight on your shoulders.
Does it ever get kind of hard to bear?
No, not at all. I love it. I love the chaos and the stress.
That's good. That's definitely a good description of what metal is as a whole, I feel like.
Oh yeah, I love it. Like I own it. I think I feel most comfortable when I'm stressed and it's chaotic.
Yeah, I definitely understand that. So I would say now your screams are very distinguishable and easily recognized. Is it important to you that you have a distinct voice in the genre?
Oh yeah, for sure. That's what makes me not turn on the bands all the time. There's so many bands that I think are great, and if the vocalist doesn't sell me in the first 10 seconds, then I'm going to turn it off, because I want it to be honest. And I think that's the biggest thing, is I want to hear the emotion, and I feel like that's the hardest thing to get out and screaming. Or not that it's the hardest thing, but people don't care about that. They just want it to be heavy and loud, and it's like there's so much more to it.
Absolutely. And one of your cohorts that comes from the Ohio area, the same area that you guys come from, the Devil Wears Prada, I always see Mike Haranica get shit on for his vocal style, but he literally gives it all in his style.
Oh, yeah. And that's always important, is that and I think people can call that from like a mile away if someone's not giving it their all.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, it's definitely pretty noticeable, I feel like. So, to kind of close out this fantastic interview, and thank you so much again for your time, Levi.
Oh, anytime, man.
I wanted to bring up that you guys have done Mayhem Festival here in the States. You've done these huge European festivals overseas. What is next for Miss May I? What can you possibly do? Are you going to tour with Metallica?
Well, no, we it's already planned, man. It gets bigger and better. We're getting ready to head out on this headliner for it's pretty much like a world headliner, and you've heard Shadows Inside, so we wanted people not just to hear it, we wanted people to really experience it. So we really went above and beyond on the production, and it's the biggest show we've ever had, and I think it's some of the biggest shows that most of these venues have ever seen. We advanced this headliner, and they're like, "You're bringing what?" And we're like, "Yeah, we're taking this to the next level." So this tour is going to be one I think people are going to be talking about. So I'm excited for the first show to happen and people to post pictures and be like, "What just happened?" So and I think that's what's next for Miss May I, is just headline and really bring a show to people.
Hell yeah, man. That's exactly what I've seen people talking about with Parkway Drive since the Ire album cycle.
Exactly.
They brought pyro.
Yeah, dude, pyro, drums go upside down. Like that's what we want. We want just next level, a real show that people are like, that was worth coming out.
Well, hey, Levi, I can't wait to see how your fans receive it. I hope to see a show on the album cycle. Thank you so much again for your time, and have a great tour.
Oh, anytime, man. Thank you. Bye.
Bye.